Sure. So a couple of things and some reactions to what we've already heard. I think that the definition of what a data center is really important, and it's changed, as Melanie said, over time. And I think that gives some flexibility to CIOs to be really strategic about things they focus on closing versus things they don't focus on closing. Back when I worked in the government, we were trying to close things that were server closets or a computer room, and that didn't really provide a lot of value. So now that we can be focused on closing things that are really look like data centers, we can use technology to help us understand the systems and the data that's stored in those locations. And once you understand the data, now you have a pathway, because some data is going to fit better in different environments than others. Some data needs to be able to flow from one organization to another seamlessly, so it's going to impact where you host a system over the long term. So it comes back to understanding, from our perspective, it comes back to understanding what and where your data is, and then having a good plan for managing that data over the long term. And the other thing that I really like about the way the new data center optimization memo is written, it gives some nice I would say incentives, but there are metrics that we're trying to shoot for that seem achievable, right, and seem understandable. And that drives this whole notion of IT analytics, right? You need to be able to capture data about your environment, not just the data in your environment, but data about your environment. And once you have that, now you can make even smarter choices about turning off storage or turning off data protection or turning off different things that are duplicative and not adding a lot of value. We've added a lot of technology over time, and it doesn't always get used the way we expect it to.
That's exactly right. And the technology, again, is so advanced now. And let's face it, what gets measured gets done, but sometimes that has unintended consequences, right? And so as we learn to get, again, more fine-grained on this, and again, the technology continues to present itself in a way that allows these sort of breakthrough capabilities to pursue. Yeah, all of a sudden, you want the policies to be lining up to that.
And what I found over my career is if I can present information to executives in a way that's digestible and it's not very technical, but I can show them that this information says you're spending more money than you need to because you're not taking these actions, and they can understand it in real terms, then I can get some mind share around turning something off or moving something to the cloud or keeping something on premise, because I can do a cost benefit analysis that's straightforward and do it in terms that are common sense language. That's I found over time really critical to getting executive support for doing these things. You have to, right, because you have a risk anytime I'm going to close something or change something. Someone in a program might say, well, if you do this, XYZ is going to happen to the mission. Right. Well, when I can make it simple for people to understand what the impact is, then I think you can get a lot more progress.
It's all about